Hi, I'm Susan Brandt. I am the Director of Technology. I am also a parent, as well as you are. I have two children that are in the district. Jack, my son, is an 8th grader at Mountain Brook Junior High, and my daughter, Virginia Kate, is a 10th grader at the high school. So while I might be qualified on paper to be here in front of you talking about this digital world that our children are living in, just know that I really should be sitting in the seat with you because I am also navigating this digital world that our children are living in. So there's a lot of times when I have questions just like you have questions, and I'm not sure that I have all the answers, but we're going to talk through some things tonight, and I'm going to share some resources with you, and hopefully you'll leave with a little bit more of an understanding of the world that our children are living in. I think a lot of times when we start talking about technology and the world that our students are living in, it's a lot different from the world that we live in. And so it's our job to help them navigate this new world that we didn't experience. And so if we start searching online for, okay, how much screen time is too much, or how do I navigate this world for my child, you're going to find articles like this. Teens are anxious and depressed after 3 hours a day on social media. So that's from the MIT Technology Review this past September. We find ourselves asking this question, like, should we just stop using technology? Should we just ban our kids from using technology? Because this seems really depressing. If we start talking about all the different facets that technology, all the different ways it touches our students' lives, you'll see that it's everywhere. And so I think that that's important to realize. Technology is actually everywhere. It's connected to all the things that they experience throughout the day. So the Internet of Things is referencing all of the ways that we have connected devices. For example, you can walk into your house and talk to Alexa, which can control your lights. Right? Our cars now are connected to the internet. We've got the internet in our pocket. Some of us have two cell phones, so we have more devices in our pocket than we ever have. So we have access all the time to technology. So to say we're going to ban our kids from technology or not give them access to it is actually impossible. So we have to creatively think about a new way to help our kids navigate this hyper-connected world. So what we want to do is, if you look on the left, you have how technology can lead to students comparing themselves to other students. So they go online, they start looking at Instagram, Snapchat, and they start comparing, hey, what am I about? What is this person about? What are they getting to do? What am I getting to do? What do they have? What do I have? So it's that whole comparison world. And also, they're consuming, right? They're constantly on their devices, researching, looking at news feeds, they're consuming technology. So our goal is to move from that left side, from consuming and consumption, over to building connection and using it for communication. We want them to be content providers. We want them to produce. We want them to add value to this Internet of Things, right? So we want it to have a purpose. I like this quote by Bob Goff. He says, "We won't be distracted by comparison if we are captivated with purpose." So how do we teach our kids they have purpose and meaning and use that lens when they're using technology? So we want to be intentional with the use of our technology, and we want to teach our kids to be intentional about the use of technology. So how can they intentionally use it to be a better student, to be a better communicator? Okay, so 2 questions that I always try to think about when my children come to me and say, hey, I'd like a new app. I'd like this video game. So if my daughter comes to me and says, I'd like to sign up for dance again, I always say to her, okay, let's look at your schedule. Let's see what we already have committed, and let's see if we can fit dance lessons in. Okay, you're already doing this, you're already doing this, you're already doing this. I'm not sure that we're going to have time for that. And so you may have had the same conversations in your family when your child comes to you and asks to do something. Hey, can I spend the night with a friend? Well, let's see, how is that going to impact our weekend if you do that? Same thing with technology. When they ask for a new video game, that's extracurricular, just like a sport is. So ask yourself, how might this technology benefit my child or family, and how might it impact my child or family? So extracurricular sports, same thing as actually a video game. So two great questions to ask. And you know what? Rope your children into this conversation as well. Ask them, hey, how is this going to impact your schedule? How is this going to impact the family? So this is a room that is at Mountain Brook High School, and I like this picture because it reminds me that technology is all around us. And this is a room that a high school Spanish teacher actually presented at the Institute for Innovation because she wanted to find a way to completely immerse her students in the culture of whatever country that they were studying. So this is actually multiple projectors that are projecting on the walls. And the great thing for the Mountain Brook Elementary parents that are here, we actually have been working on a room downstairs that is just like this, except for it has floor projection as well. But the idea is, in this case, for the teacher to be able to drop the kids into another city. So if they wanted to go to Barcelona, she could find it on Google Maps. She could do it on Street View, put it on the projector, and now they're actually on that street in Barcelona. So a very intentional use of technology. The kids know what the purpose of that is. So one of the disadvantages my children have is being the children of the technology director. And so we try to be very intentional about the use of technology in our house. And one of the things that my son had to do when Pokemon Go sort of hit the streets, no pun intended, he had to show me his plan for Pokemon Go, complete with a safety background check on the app. So whenever we as a school system purchase software, purchase an app, we always look at the terms of use, the privacy policy, where that app or that program is being stored. If it's on foreign servers, then we don't use it. We never use it because we don't have the same legal protection with our data overseas that we do here. So he had to present to me a plan. Well, Pokemon Go servers are overseas. And so in order for him to use the app, he had to show us a way that he could take his device and disconnect it from our network so that he could use Pokemon Go without giving away personal information. Okay, so that was 3 years ago? So we try to teach intentionality so they can actually learn through that process of, okay, I can use this. This is a safe way to use it. And those are part of the conversations that we're having in our house. So this was last Saturday, or 2 Saturdays ago when the storms came through, he built a weather station. So you can see how much he loves technology. Now, where I kind of need Dale Wisely to sit down with me and have a personal conversation about how to navigate technology in my own household, you can see how much he loves it. But I have to channel it. And if I don't channel it, then he's on a device, sucked in to whatever world he creates. So I have to be really intentional and make sure that when my children are using devices, that they're using it for a specific purpose.